Hello, and as I said, happy Wednesday. How are you all? So today is part 2 of the Balanced Boss Babe Bootcamp. Ugh. Now, if you join me for the first one, then you will have been aware of all the entrepreneurial diet types, so hopefully you will have identified yours. But if not, don't worry, because I'm going to do a quick recap on this before I jump on to ways in which I can help you to manage it. Because there are ways to manage it, and I think it's important to identify what your entrepreneurial diet type is, because that way you identify all your you understand all your habits and all your triggers. And to be honest, if you start any health journey, that is the best way to start, because if you don't have that understanding, you kind of I feel you just go at it aimlessly a little, don't you? And I've done that for years, gone aimlessly at it, not understanding my diet type, not understanding how my body works, how my body reacts to certain foods, and as a result, I've done possibly every diet out there, every diet. So from Atkins, low fat, low carb, calorie counting, Weight Watchers, it was all points. I've done them all, and the problem is that because I didn't get the basics right, I always resorted back to where I was. So I ended up resorting back to where I was, a few pounds heavier, not feeling much better about myself, and feeling just exhausted with it. So I'm going to show you a different way, because I have a different way, and I know it's going to help change your life. So if you have joined, please say hello so that I know that you're here. I'm just going to jump on here to make sure that I don't have any questions, so I'm going to keep that on as well. But what is the Balanced Boss Babe Bootcamp? Well, I created it because I wanted to share with you that we can actually all be put into categories, into different diet types, and because of that, that drives our choices, that drives our habits as well. And when you get to understand them, you have a different and then you're given a different approach. You just have a different kind of mindset and how you can help change your health and your diet as well. So so the whole thing about the Balanced Boss Babe Bootcamp is to come on here, explain to you what these diet types are, and also give you tips on how you can manage them. But once you've got those basics as well, it just means it's a really, really easy transition into my Balanced Boss Babe Mastermind. Now, I'll post more about that, but it is just, if you are committed and if you are ready to invest and you are ready to take control and transform your health and your life, which in turn is going to positively affect your business, then the Balanced Boss Babe Mastermind is for you. I'll talk about it a bit later, but I'll cover everything else first, and we can go into a bit more detail afterwards. Now, who is this not for? So if you've joined this and you're thinking, oh, actually, I'd kind of quite like to know what diet type I am, and you are a serial dieter, always looking for the next fad, looking for a quick fix, then you're not going to find any value here, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but you're not, and you are actually probably just wasting your time coming through here. I'm not going to be able to help you. However, if you are, fierce, independent, strong, boss babe, you're a woman entrepreneur or an influencer, or just a woman that's looking to take absolute control of their health, you're ready to invest, you're ready to absolutely commit, because that commitment is needed for you to see transformation, then this is the place for you. You're in the right place, and I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for joining me. If you are catching this on replay though, please just stick a hashtag in the comments, just so that I know who has come back through on replay. That'd be Amazing. Also, if you didn't catch my first boot camp, this second boot camp will just give you a flavour as well as to who I am. I'll introduce myself properly in a minute, but also I'll give you an insight into me, my personality, my approach, my beliefs, and what it would be like to work with me, because I think that's important. We need to have that connection there, otherwise you know, it's not going to work for you. If you do like you see, you do like what you see, you like what you hear, then that is brilliant, amazing. And if not, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm sure you're still going to find some value here today. So who am I? For those that don't know me, I am Hayley, and I'm the founder of Your Health Angel. I'm absolutely on a mission to change the lives of many, many people, in particular female entrepreneurs and women that need that focus and clarity of mind, just so you can get those kind of that motivation, the inspiration going, and everything else. I can help transform your life, and I want to help transform your life. And I have been there, I've done it, I know what needs to be done, and I want to take you through the same steps as well. So I have created various other programs that help people focus on losing weight, getting a better balance in life as well. I'm also I'm a lover of creating recipes as well. So if you don't know that, I have 2 recipe ebooks. Everything about my recipes is to do with simplicity, quickness, ease, and even if you're not an absolute whiz in the kitchen, then I'm your gal, because oh my goodness, I can help you. I can help you to feel at ease in the kitchen as well. And I don't shout about that side just as much, but I do. And I used to be the TV chef, so I used to cover the chef slot on STV's Live at 5, which was a lifestyle program. So I did that as well. So that was very good, and it was exciting. But that's me. If you have come on, please let me know. Please introduce yourself. It would be great to know who's joined. And if not, then what I'll do is, if you're keeping quiet, which is absolutely fine, I'm going to kick straight into it. I will firstly recap what the 5 entrepreneurial diet types are. And then after each of them, I'll give you some just tips on how to manage each of them. Now, I came up with these entrepreneurial diet types through working with clients all last year, helping to transform their health and their diet. And there are people that fall into certain categories. And because of that, the way they approach things are kind of slightly different. And it's a reason why that I believe that not one diet fits all, because we're all individuals, we've all got different habits and triggers, and I've identified different diet types. So sometimes that one prescribed diet doesn't work because it doesn't identify with your, I suppose, with your inner habits. So I'm going to help you overcome that as well. But let me just... what I'll do is I'll share my screen, and I'm going to bring up the 5 different entrepreneurial diet types, and then I'm going to cover them off with you. Okay, so give me a second. Just share my screen so that you can see what's going on. There we go. So there we are. Okay, so here's the start. If you do have any questions as we go through, please just ask away. And let me see, just making sure that I don't have any questions coming in. So make sure you ask any questions. And if you haven't before, and if you've identified your diet type, please put it in the comments below, because I'm actually really interested to find out of everybody that's viewed this if there is one diet type that dominates. Okay, so the Balanced Boss Babe Bootcamp. Today I'm going to be talking to you about managing your entrepreneurial diet type. Okay, so there are 5 diet types, and the first one, before I jump into it, let me just sort this. So the entrepreneurial diet types, and just a quick summary of them is for you to identify your entrepreneurial diet type, and what that will do is it's going to help you understand, like I mentioned before, your habits and your triggers, because that's really important, especially if you're wanting to make a change. If you want a major transformation, you really need to address your habits. That's hugely important. And in doing that, you're actually more aware of the symptoms that you have, some negative symptoms sometimes that affects your body, and how you feel as a result. So getting these basics right is an absolutely essential, as I've just said there, when starting any health journey, because that's when you're going to get the best transformation, by understanding all of this. And in doing that, you are going to then achieve that kind of successful long-term sustainable lifestyle. And it doesn't include all your traditional kind of dieting protocols like yo-yo dieting and counting calories and sins and whatever else it is, because you don't need to. You can actually absolutely ditch the diet, and that is actually one of my mottos. So the first of the diet types is a carb craver. Now I've openly shared that I'm a carb craver, so I'm going to just quickly jump through what these are. Okay, so you usually would stick with kind of cereal or toast for breakfast, you'll go with a sandwich or a bagel for lunch, and on your dinner plate, what usually dominates is your kind of like the pasta, potatoes and rice. So very kind of carb heavy. And you'll find that throughout the day, you'll kind of tend to crave these foods along with your pancakes, muffins, potato chips and everything else throughout the day. And I can absolutely identify with this because I am a carb craver. But some of the symptoms you can have as a result is that you could get quite moody and grumpy if you're in a carb slump. Yep. Sometimes those mood swings and that grumpiness can all be food related. So that can be the kind of the sole reason for the way that you feel. You possibly could suffer regular bloating, indigestion and stomach cramps. And I had this loads. I used to suffer from bloating regularly, but just thought it was normal, and it's not. So if you do suffer from those, any of those symptoms, it isn't normal. You like get a foggy head, or kind of feel like you can't get that kind of clarity around you. And also because of that, there's a lack of concentration. However, if you are a carb craver, there's hope for you, because I'm proof. I've done it, and I'm here, and I can still be a carb craver, but I know how to manage it, and this is how I do it. Firstly, it's important just to reduce the amount of processed carbs that you have. So things like cereal and toast and wheat-based kind of pastas, all highly processed, and it's actually what usually gives you that kind of carb kind of slump. Instead, don't ignore carbs. I'm not here to say the solution for a carb craver is that you should reduce all your carbs. It doesn't work. I mean, I've been there. Being a carb craver, I've tried Atkins several occasions, and it just didn't work for me because I'm such a carb craver. So instead, focus on low energy releasing carbs. So you'll have heard low GI carbs that they are, and there are things kind of like brown rice, quinoa, lentils, kind of sweet potato, oats, anything like that kind of releases the energy really slowly into your body, and it just means that it doesn't kind of put your body into that kind of carb slump. So, and in doing that, it keeps your blood sugar levels steady. So it's really important to do that. And if you stick with those low GI carbs, that's what you actually do. And don't let yourself get too hungry, because you'll find that if you do, the first thing you want is you want those carbs, and that's that. So that's a carb craver. So if you are a carb craver, please let me know. I like to know if you identify with those symptoms, and if you have tried to manage it before, and what your kind of success stories are, what your struggles are. Okay, so next, the snacker. So when I'd gone through this, the snacker is if you usually can just take a very small breakfast, or you just kind of grab and go breakfast bar. You're always kind of on the go, and because of that, you don't tend to sit down to eat a main meal, because you're busy. You're always kind of, you don't tend to give yourself that kind of time, and you're picking all sorts of foods throughout the day, and because of that, you actually never feel satisfied. So if you can relate with that, you are a snacker. So some of the symptoms that you could experience as a result is that you lack energy and focus, and it's because your body is just not taking in the correct amount of nutrients. So it's not it's not getting the energy that it needs, so that's why you have that lack of energy, and because of that, you feel lethargic and your focus isn't quite there. So not really what you need when you're running your own business. You'll find as well, because you're not giving yourself enough of that energy, you're always hungry. You are always eating mindlessly, so you'll find that you'll snack on things, kind of just pick at things without even realizing, and next thing you know, who knows how many packets of sweets or whatever else, or things that you've snacked through. And the thing is, you kind of tend to struggle with kind of health and weight problems because you feel you don't eat that much because you're constantly on the go. Anyway, if that is you and you are a snacker, here is how to manage it. And you'll have probably heard that because it's kind of quite kind of big in all social media and the news, isn't it? And it's being mindful of your eating. But what does that mean? And it just means that you sit down and you give yourself that time, and you are mindful of what you put into your mouth, and you take that time just to be aware of what it is that you're eating. And that's all it is. That's all mindful is. It's just being aware, and not doing it without kind of thinking and whatever else. So give yourself that time to sit and eat. And even if it is that you feel that you don't have a lot of time, it just takes kind of 5 minutes just to, whether it is that you're preparing your meal, to kind of to sit down and have it. Don't have it on the go, because that's when you find that you don't really see that as eating. I would always suggest that you start with that super nutritious breakfast, because that will keep you going. Once you have a nutritious breakfast, it's going to give your body the nutrients that it needs, the energy that it needs, and it will be, you'll feel that by mid-morning, because you have fueled yourself properly, you won't tend to snack quite as much. The other thing is, if you are a snacker and you're on the go all the time, is to actually make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. I get this quite a lot with a lot of my clients, in that a lot of the hunger that they feel is actually just thirst. So making sure that you're drinking your daily quota of water, so drinking 2 litres or more, just so that your body is well hydrated, because when you are dehydrated, some of the symptoms of that is that you do feel hungry. So you might think, oh goodness, I'm starving again, I'm going to just grab something else to eat. And actually all you really need is a glass of water, a good glug of it too. So so that's kind of ways. So if you are a snacker, you can identify with it. Please stick in the comments snackers, so I know that that's what you are. Moving on, the caffeine junkie. Exactly as the title describes, you rely on coffee to kickstart the day. You will have more coffee mid-morning and the afternoon, and you do that to try and keep your energy levels up. You will swap eating in place of coffee, or if you do eat as well, you always will end it with a coffee. Now, if you usually swap eating with coffee, you'll find that by the time you get around to eating, you're so hungry that you just grab kind of anything, so it might not be the most nutritious kind of choice. Some of the symptoms can be that because you are filling your body with so much stimulants, you actually can feel quite jittery, quite irritable and on edge. And that is just purely because your body can't cope with the amount of caffeine that you are putting into it. Your system can't cope with it. You will likely suffer low energy levels. you know, because caffeine will give you that initial energy hit, but it's false energy, so it's not energy that's going to last. So you'll find that you'll probably end up being in some sort of cycle where your energy levels are low, so you think, I need some caffeine, because that's your usual go-to, and you'll have more coffee and more coffee, and you end up getting into that kind of cycle. Now, because you are putting so much stimulants into your body, you'll find that you'll probably have problems sleeping well at night. You'll suffer from insomnia, and you'll never get quite a good deep sleep, and you won't feel fully rested, which means that when you wake up the next day, what do you resort to? Yes, more coffee. That's you, a caffeine junkie. You'll likely suffer headaches or migraines as well, and sometimes you'll find that those come as well if you've maybe left it too long to take your caffeine hit, because the withdrawals are starting to kick in. So, but if you are a caffeine junkie, there's hope for you yet, don't worry. I've had clients that have been caffeine junkies, and they have been, they're now the reformed caffeine junkies, still enjoy their coffee, but it doesn't control their day. But how do you manage being a caffeine junkie if you are one, and if you want to, if you don't want to be one? Is actually as simple as reducing your daily caffeine intake. If you are a caffeine junkie, I wouldn't recommend that you go cold turkey and have no coffee from day one, because the withdrawals symptoms that you'll get will be so severe that you'll likely want coffee on IV to keep you boosted. But it is possible, and the first steps is actually just reduce it. And I'm not saying, you know, cut it down to only one coffee a day. If you're used to having kind of 4 coffees a day, you know, just eliminate one of them and substitute it with a herbal tea, because I know sometimes people like that hot drink, you know, they just like to have a hot drink. So substitute it with a herbal tea, and you might don't turn your nose up. I can hear some of you already, oh, I don't like herbal teas. I have proof from my clients that when I've asked them to introduce some herbal tea, that is now their go-to. They're actually herbal tea junkies now, which is a lot better than a caffeine junkie. So don't sit there and go, oh, I don't like herbal tea, I never like it, and I don't whatever else. All I'm asking, you know, as I'm giving you the tips, I should have said this at the start, is I want you to keep an open mind, because anything and everything is actually possible. So listen to your body as well, because you might suffer from withdrawal symptoms, which means that later on at night you might get headaches or whatever else. And if that's the case, listen to your body and just get to your bed early. You know, it's not necessary to stay up till 11 o'clock watching Netflix, because that's what you do all the time. You know, that's what that's your, you know, that's habit, and that's whatever else. If you are shattered by 9 o'clock because you've reduced your coffee intake and you're tired, don't sit there and try and put in 2 more episodes on Netflix. Get to your bed, because you will find that reduction in caffeine is going to start helping how you sleep, and you're going to feel more refreshed in the morning. Also, stick with healthy snacks. So if you stick to you use coffee as a substitute, then swap it with, so for example, rather than taking in that latte, because that's what kind of fills you up, and you think, well, at least I'm not snacking, I'm having a latte, and I'm having a coffee instead. Stick with a healthy snack instead. You know, keep it high protein, keep it high fat. That's going to keep your blood sugar level steady as well. So caffeine junkies, hands up, let me know if that's you, and stick it in the comments, because I'd really like to know. I really like to know how everyone is. Okay. So the next one is a sugar slave. So if you are a sugar slave, you are probably already nodding, because you're looking at those pictures and you're like, yep. You start the day with a sugary cereal or pancakes or pastries or anything sweet, and you know, I won't read kind of through all of that, but that's what you do. You rely on chocolate and sweets and whatever else, and you actually quench your thirst not with water, but with sugary sodas and fruit juices and whatever else. So that's what your characteristics will be. And you will find that your symptoms is that your energy levels will yo-yo. Again, sugar is a stimulant, and it will also raise your blood sugar levels. but also when your blood sugar levels spike drastically from eating sugar, it comes down crashing, just as fast, which means that you end up suffering that sugar slump. That way you feel really kind of irritable and you think, oh, I need something and I need more sugar, and you rely on those kind of sugary snacks to boost your mood. Now, health-wise though, you'll find that you can suffer a lot of unknown kind of aches and pains on a regular basis. You might suffer from bad PMS symptoms and also skin breakouts, and it's because sugar is highly inflammatory, and when you have that inflammation in your body, it just it's that inflammation in your body and on your skin that causes the aches and pains and the breakouts as well. But don't worry, sugar slaves, there is hope for you yet. And the way to manage it is actually to, again, like coffee, don't go cold turkey. Just reduce the amount of processed sugar each day. So reduce that, and don't go cold turkey because withdrawal symptoms will be so severe. Also, don't drink your sugar. So if you're used to having like fruit juices and you think, oh, well, fruit juice, it's fruit, it's healthy. The amount of sugar that's in it is going to totally spike your blood sugar levels. If you are needing to quench your thirst, stick with water or replace it with fruit infused water. Don't have kind of sugary diet drinks, sugary sodas and sugary kind of fruit juices either, because that's not going to help. Also, substitute any kind of sugary snacks with healthier alternatives. And I'm not saying that you substitute, your normal biscuit with an apple, and you think, oh, God, I don't really like an apple. So many healthier alternatives and healthier ingredients that you could have that's not going to have the same impact on your body. I have plenty of snacks, plenty of kind of healthy bakes and cookies, whether it is that you're looking for something energizing or something in a cake form or a cookie form. I've got recipes there to share with you, and I share all of my recipes in the Balanced Boss Babe mastermind that is going to actually, I'll tell you about later, but all the recipes are there, and it just means that you are actually making and creating your own cookies or creating your own cake, but it is going to be so much better for you and it's not going to give you that same impact. So there's always a solution. If there's one thing, if you say to me, and if you think that there's an issue with something, I always think there's always a solution to any kind of issue, any problem or struggle. And I truly believe that. And as part of my Balanced Boss Babe mastermind, I'll show you that it's absolutely possible and that everything and anything is possible as well. So moving on to the last diet type is forgetful fretful. Now, just to cover all this, it is more that you actually tend to forget to eat because you might not be hungry at the start of the day, or you get too busy so you don't eat, or you're fretful. So you fret about eating and you worry about eating it because you're not sure what to eat. You worry about taking in too many calories. You worry about that, oh my goodness, is that going to make me fat? Oh my goodness, no, I had a dessert last night, so I'm not going to eat this morning. And you fret about it. Now, the thing is, because of that, you'll likely find that you'll probably suffer a lot of you will suffer from low energy levels, and again, that's basically because you're not taking in enough nutrients. You're not taking enough energy for your body to sustain your body. You might feel lethargic, and by the time you actually decide to eat, you are so hungry, you actually end up adopting one of the other characteristics, whether it is that you end up snacking like mad, or you're an absolute carb craver, or you just go for that kind of something sugary and sweet. And because of that, because you're not sustained, your energy levels aren't sustained throughout the day, you'll find that you tend to feel exhausted all through the day, and that's how you feel. However, if that is you, don't worry, there is a solution. Like I say, there's always a solution and how to manage it. Now, if you are forgetful, fretful, The best thing to do is actually to keep a food journal, because it helps you to identify how much you're eating, or in likely your case, how much you're not eating. It'll also help you identify where your main triggers are. Is it because you're so busy in the morning and that's why you don't eat? It helps you to identify your actions, which is absolute key. The other thing I would say is just spend a bit of time to plan your week so that you know what you're eating and when and whatever else, because that is really, really important. Especially if you get really busy, if you plan it out, you know exactly what you're eating and when. Also, stick with really simple and easy to prepare recipes, because if you are busy and you're on the go and whatever else, you likely not have hundreds of time to be standing there meal prepping for 3 hours. And whatever else. And you know, a lot of my recipes are very simple and very straightforward, and I focus on that because, hello, I'm exactly the same. I don't want to be standing in the kitchen cooking and prepping for hours on end, because do you know what, you don't need to. It's not the only way. So if you are a forgetful fretful, then please share that with me. Let me know that that's what you are, because I'm really intrigued. I'd really, really love to know. So, have you identified your diet type? Because once you have, what I want to introduce you to is that if you are then looking for that energy and that major transformation, then you will be able to, once you've identified that your entrepreneurial diet type, you'll be able to really easily transition and move into the Balanced Boss Babe Mastermind. Now, this is my program that is available, and I will stick the link in the comments so that you can see it. But it's going to give you the tools and the guidance and the accountability, because that's a big thing, isn't it? Getting that accountability to help keep you on track. It's going to help you to transform your habits and your mindset. And I'll be guiding you all the way towards a new diet and the way you actually approach food. It's not, like I said before, if you're sitting there looking for just a meal plan that you can follow, this isn't the program for you. However, if you are committed to learning and you're committed to a change, and you want to change, you want to invest your time and your effort to become healthier, so that you do feel amazing, you wake up in the morning, you feel and you look great, and you just feel so energized that you feel that you can achieve absolutely anything. So that is that's absolutely key. So yeah, so looking and feeling great about yourself, having that clarity for inspiration, because that's a lot of the times, if you're running your own business and you feel that the ideas don't don't come quite as quickly as you want them to, a lot of the times it's because the amount of toxins that are blocking your body, and because your body is so focused on trying to deal with these, the energy and everything else isn't going to your brain or anything else that's helping you to get that inspiration and the motivation going and everything else, and having that energy so that you can be absolutely super productive. So the mastermind is going to totally transform your health. It's going to help you to finally break free from all those traditional kind of dieting protocols that you probably all know, and I know, and I've been through them all. And you actually become the balanced boss babe, because you're in control, and you are loving life. You're loving yourself, you're loving how you feel, you're loving how you look, and you're actually loving your food, and everything that you eat. So if that's what you're looking for, you're absolutely in the right place. And my Balanced Boss Babe Mastermind starts on Monday, the 28th of January, and can't wait to share it with you. Really, really excited about it. And I know that for those of you that are ready to come on and to join, that you're going to be so glad you've done it. and the transformation is going to be absolutely priceless for you. You're going to, the difference that you'll feel from week 1 to week 8 is going to be night and day, and I can easily say that. So let me just stop. Let me come back on. Hello. So let me just quickly check. Okay, I just want to see and make sure that there's no questions coming on. If you do have, actually, let me just put this out there to you as well, because I know some of you might not want to put your questions or whatever else on kind of such a public forum. So if you have more personal questions that you want to ask, then I have time on Friday morning where I am taking 15-minute calls. So if that is you and you think, I want to find out a bit more, but I've got a few personal questions that I want to ask and I don't want to stick it on here for everybody to see, then please get in touch. And we'll set just 15 minutes and we'll talk through what your queries are, and you can ask me all your questions and I can answer them privately with you, so I can do that as well. So, but we don't have any questions coming in, and if that's the case, I'll just leave you to it. But I just want to say how that if you are got to the stage and you think, I'm just looking for now something that's different, I want to try something different, because to be honest, you've tried it and you've gone back to the same thing, gone back to the same diet, you've gone back to, and you just keep getting the same result. And if that's you, it's actually now time to totally change. It's now time to totally do something different. You know, take a leap of absolute faith in doing something that you might have thought that actually, can I do that? Because I'll be there to guide you. You will be there in the mastermind with others with the same, and that's the thing, everybody there that's in the mastermind group is going to be in the same position as you. You're all going to have the same you know, the same goal at the end of the day. You're all going to be there for the same reason. So you've got that commonality there, and that accountability and that motivation and the inspiration you're going to get and the learning is actually what is going to help transform and change your life. So I will add a link to the program, to the mastermind program, on here after the live. If you want to speak to me more about it, if you have more questions, more personal questions, then have time on Friday morning to take a few calls. So please get them in before they all get booked out. And that is it. You know, if you're catching this on replay, please let me know what your entrepreneurial diet type is, because I'm really, really curious. I'd really love to know. And I'd love to know if you will be adopting any of the top tips to try and help you manage it. And if there are any other struggles actually that I've not mentioned, please again share them with me, because you know, I'm not a caffeine junkie, you know, I'm not a sugar slave. So if there's something that you've identified with that I haven't yet identified through my clients, then please let me know, because I'm always open to learning more things from you guys. It's like kind of, you learn from me and I learn from you type thing, isn't it? But anyway, thank you for those of you joined me live. Thank you so much. For those that have watched the replay, thank you so much as well. I am going to place a link for my Balanced Boss Babe Mastermind, and I can't wait for it. It's going to launch on the 28th of January. Can't wait to get started with the group of you, and I will speak to you all soon for part 3 of this bootcamp. Have a great day, everyone. See ya.